Angry, upset customer over silver price. Gonna let you know what happened with this one. Help me out with the thumbs up, my friends. That really does help get the videos out to more and more people. Thank you for all the new subscribers. You folks have been great to me. Thank you for the support. Those thumbs up really do help get the videos out to more and more people. So if you support the channel, yes, those thumbs up really does help the channel grow massively. Thank you very much. Let's just get into the video right now. Customer comes in today. He brought in 225. The Australian kangaroos. This one, yeah, this one is mine. This one did not come from the shop. You can see a couple milk spots on her face, on the Queen Elizabeth's face. You can see a little bit of milk spots on the back. That's common with these. The Australian kangaroos, for some reason, they're just common to get a lot of milk spots. And there's not a lot you can do to take them out at all. Yes, you can put baking soda on them. It does help a little bit. But you got to be careful with baking soda with hot water, because baking soda can be very abrasive and scratching the coins if you don't dissolve it first. But with that being said, we're looking at these coins, and our offer was, I didn't like it, $1.50 behind spot. And we told them if they were in better shape, we'd be close to the spot. But since these were pretty rough, I mean, they were milk spot toned up. This is a Cook's Island coin. That's mine. As you can see, I did a very well job of trying to clean it. And how I clean them is, I'll get that into a moment. But it came out pretty well. I'm still not finished on this side yet, of course. But he was very, very upset at the offer. I'm like, look, there's nothing we can do about the milk spots. He says, I'm going to go shop it around. I said, oh, that's fine. I said, if you go shop it around, that's fine. I said, I can call places. I said, I can call the other two coin shops up the road from us and see what they're willing to give you right now. I says, if you want to call them, I'll give you the phone numbers. You can do it right here. I said, but you walk out that door, I said, you're going to see a different price from us. I said, we're trying to offer you the best price in town. But if you don't believe us, call them right here. I said, I'll challenge you. I said, they're going to probably be $2 behind spot. So he took my advice. He sat down. I gave him the two phone numbers, and I said, you want me to get on the phone with you? I says, I'm going to tell him. I said, I can send him pictures myself of your coins. I said, they will give you a price right then and here. And one was $2.25 behind spot, and one was $2.15 behind spot. He says, I guess you are offering me a pretty fair price. He says, but he says, there's still silver at the end of the day. I said, yeah, there's still silver at the end of the day. But I said, they're not retail friendly. That's what it is. So I have to think about that. I got to think how long I'm going to sit on these for. I said, I don't like to smelt anything down. After a while bickering back and forth with this customer, he decided to sell. He says, I don't like your attitude, he says. Well, I don't know where that came from, because we were pretty good at that point. But then it started going back and forth and say, hey, look, I'm not going to sit here and get insulted by you. If you want the deal, I'll cut you a check right now. If you don't want the deal, you can pick up your crap and get out the door. I said, I'm not playing games at all. I said, I don't have time for this. I said, it's either you take the deal or you don't take the deal. I said, I'm not forcing you to take any deal that you don't want to take. And he kind of backed down at that point. And thank God. I mean, really. I mean, it's Monday, my friends. Come on, give us a break. We're not trying to rip people off here. We're really trying not to rip people off here. It is what it is. Excuse me a minute. About the price. It is what it is. And if they come up with toned up milk spot, you're going to get a reduced price. So what we're going to try to do with the shop is, we're going to do them at 50 cents below spot price. Yeah, we're going to try to make a buck off of each one. But that ain't going to happen. We know that. Because the silver prices is always changing. And this is what I'm trying to tell them. Look, I'm like, I don't want to melt this stuff down. Somebody's out there is going to else want these coins. So So why smelt them down if I can make a little bit, get them out into the public's hands still? Some people don't care if their milk spot toned up. It just proves the silver is real. You don't have to test it that way. So he finally took the check. He went out the door. About an hour later, he said he wants his coins back. I says, okay, you want your coins back? It's gonna be a dollar. It's gonna be $1 less than spot. You're gonna pay me. Well, you're gonna make 50 cents off a coin off me. Well, yeah, you sold them. They're my coins now. They're not your coins anymore. Then he started with his lawyer. I says, all right, here's my lawyer's card. Call my lawyer too. Have your lawyer call my lawyer. I said, I'm done. Get the heck out of the store, and don't come back. I mean, really? If you didn't want to sell them in the first place, then don't sell them. But don't come back in demanding your coins back, because they're not your gosh darn coins anymore. They are my property. Well, not my personal property, the store's property. They're not his coins. No matter if he just sold them 5 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, 2 days ago. It don't matter. It belongs to the shop now. He says, no, go ahead. You want to threaten me with a lawyer? Go right ahead. Here's my lawyer's cards. Here's the shop's cards. Lawyer's cards number. Have your lawyer call my lawyer. I said, just leave. I said, you're not getting your stuff back. There's nothing I've done illegally. It's all been up and up. You took the check. I said, no, it's done. They're mine. Goodbye. I'm never going to come back here again. I said, well, you're not the first one who's told me that. I says, you sold them. So when you take the check, you walk out the door, that means the deal is done in my eyes. I says, you seem to be happy when you left. Now you're unhappy. There's nothing I can do for you. So he left. Please check out channel sponsor Pinbacks for all your silver, gold, and platinum needs. Look, we got the giveaway coming up, my friends. We got the big giveaway coming up. It's a collectibles box giveaway. I'll post that link into the comment section below of this video. If you're not yet signed up for the giveaway, I encourage people to watch that video entirely so you know the rules. If you don't follow the rules exactly, your comment's not going to be accepted. The way to know if your comment's been accepted, I give it a heart. That is how you know your comment's been approved. It's very easy to follow these rules. Very easy. Some people they can't follow simple rules. So therefore, the comment will go bye-bye. I have to make it strict on the giveaway videos to make it fair for everybody. And I hope people understand that. Gotta be fair for everybody, to have everybody have an equal chance to win this giveaway. Now let's talk about cleaning coins, testing coins a little bit. Look, you're probably not going to see too much being cleaned on this coin. This is not that. I just use a magic sponge eraser. It don't have to be the Mr. Clean ones. It can be the generic ones. Look, these are not abrasive at all. All I use is plain tap water. And I just go around the edge, a little bit rough. It's not going to scratch up the coin. It's probably not going to show too much coming off, because it's not that wet right now. Yeah, a little bit, but not that much. It's going to be a little bit wetter than this. But this coin was all covered in this brown toning. All the back was covered in that brown toning. There's one that was on top of my tube. I did a pretty good job cleaning it. You don't see no scratches, no abrasion marks. Yeah, maybe a little bit around the edges. Yep, you can see a little bit all around the edges, even with the camera that I did not pick up with my own eyes. But anyways, it does a pretty good gosh darn job. Now, I wouldn't do this with a numismatic coin. Anything like that. It's just a bowling coin, my friends. It's okay to do that. Some people say, no, it's not okay to do it. I'd rather just leave it natural. That's fine, too. Sometimes I do that, too. But if some people don't like it, you can try these little erasers. And like I said, you can get these off of Amazon, eBay, the generic ones, pretty cheaply. And normally you can get 100 pack off of eBay for about 13 bucks. And they last a while, my friends. They last a while. They're great even to clean the bathtubs, to be honest with you. That's how these really work very well. They're flimsy, they're throwaway, they break down, they get destroyed, whatever. But that's how I try to keep my coins a little bit cleaner when they get like this. But it's too bad because I really like these type of coins. But it is what it is. It happens. It was probably the cap was not closing up. That's why the top one got a little bit ear and toned up. It happens. I'm not worried about it. You can still tell if it's real right then and there. Now, testing silver. The best test right now. And yeah, you can use the ping test. Okay, you can use the ping test. You can balance it on your finger even. Hit it with another coin. And I don't know if you can hear that or not. Probably not. Let me try it with another. And it's kind of hard to do it on camera. But, or you can use the ping tester too. And you can download the app on your Android phones, your Apple phones. Called Coin Ping app. Just hit it with another coin. Use it. It's a great tool to use. Another great tool to use. The ice test. Now, granted, it's 90 degrees down here in Florida. 90 degrees plus. So this ice is starting to melt already. But if you leave it on there, it's going to roll around. And it's going to start melting very quickly. You can see that action right there. It melts very quickly. That is how you can test silver as well, my friends. It will melt very quickly. Now, I would not do this on a numismatic coin at all, because that will start taking the toning off and everything else like that. Not a high grade coin. Alright? Don't do it on that. Not the ice test. You can do it on a silver bar too. Alright, you can do it on a silver bar. You can just watch it. It won't even stay on the silver bar. But there we go. You can see it actually melting away. Right there on the silver bar. And within time, this silver bar is getting very cold in my hands. It draws in the coldness from the ice. You can see it just slides right off. Alright, you can see it dripping. That's how fast it melts. That's how you test your silver, my friends. Again, I would not do this on a numismatic anything. It's not a good way to test your silver when it's a numismatic coin itself. Now this ice is stuck right to this one. You saw how big the ice was just a second ago. If you don't remember, go back and watch that part just a few minutes ago. It's just rapidly melting. It draws in, and this is ice cold now. Try it at home. Try the ice test. People have asked for me to do this. Again, it is 95 degrees plus down here. Try it in a cooler house. Don't believe me? Try it. Put the silver inside and leave it at room temperature for 24 hours. Which most people's silver is inside. I do keep a little bit of silver on the sun porch here for my videos. And really, try it out yourselves, my friends. That's how you can tell if silver is real or fake. If it don't melt rapidly, then Houston, you got a problem. The whole bar should be ice cold. This is still ice cold from being out in the heat right now. Yes, like I said, I record my videos on the screen porch. That's why sometimes you hear silence in the background. But this bar is very cold to the touch right now. So it holds its cold. That's a good ice test. You don't need a Sigma, my friends. This is what I'm trying to tell people. You don't need a Sigma. You need a couple tools. Ping test. Awesome to have the pocket pinger. Awesome. There's other channels out there that sell them. You can get them on eBay. You can get them on Amazon. A digital scale. Depending on the size of the silver you're stacking. This scale, you can get it on Amazon. This scale will go up to 5 ounces. 5 troy ounces of silver this will do. This does grams. If you want something bigger than that, then you gotta get a better scale. That's all. But this can fit right in your pocket. Right in your purses, females. Your pocketbooks, your handbags, whatever you want to call the gosh darn things. They will fit right in your pockets, guys. It's no bigger, it's a little bit bigger than a deck of cards. If you really think about it, this will fit right in your pocket. So if you're out there with yard sales, flea markets, you know, have a digital scale in your car. You're going to go back and get it. You happen to see some coins. You write down the coins you're looking for. Write down so you don't forget how many troy ounces are supposed to be in that silver itself. Most of it is supposed to be 31.1 grams of silver. Most coins are. Except for the Chinese pandas, I believe now they're 30 grams of silver. Still consider that as an ounce. Remember, in basic ounces it's 28. In precious metals it's 31.1 grams. That is where we are at with the silver. 31.1 grams. That's in American Silver Eagle. Beware of fakes, my friends. If you're on eBay, Etsy, any of these other online platforms that do peer-to-peer type of stuff, auctions, be very, very careful, because I don't know. Let me know. All right, just let me know, because I don't know their policies on if there's something you get fake. I don't know if they have an outstanding policy like eBay does. eBay is a complete pain in the butt when you find a fake. All right, when you get a fake in the mail, yes, you got to go through the challenges of getting it back. But if you're nice, let me say it this way: don't swear at the customer. Don't swear at the seller, I should say. That is where you're going to get yourself in trouble. Say, you sent me a fake coin, I want my money back. How do you want to handle this? Let them handle it. If they don't handle it in a day or two after you receive their you send them the email through eBay now. Open a claim with eBay. Explain what happened. eBay will give them another 3 to 5 days, normally, how it works, to contact you once again. If you follow that chain, you're going to get your money back, my friends. If you need help, I'm here to help you folks out. I've done it a few times. I've done it a few times for customers. They come in, have stuff tested. It's fake. Okay, find out when they got it off of eBay. You got 30 days. All right, you got 30 days from eBay from when you get it in the mail. You got a 30-day and it don't matter what the seller says. It don't matter if it says seller's not accepting returns. That don't mean hogwash. All right, that's just trying to tell you that they don't want to deal with returns. But eBay's policy is, you know, they have to accept returns if something's wrong. Stand up for yourself, my friends. Don't be ripped off. Don't be ripped off. If you have a concern about an eBay item, for one, stay away. 2, if you're not quite sure, there's an item number on each single item. Halfway through the page, you're going to see item number. Send me the item number. Have me check it out for you. I'm happy to help you folks out. I'm here. I don't stay with people with good feedbacks. You know, if you start seeing 96% feedback, 95, 94, read the reviews. Read what those complaints are. Just because one person don't have 100% feedback does not mean they're a bad seller. Read what happened with the negative reviews. Read between the lines. Oh, it didn't ship to me. Okay, if they have 99.1% feedback or 99.8% feedback and you see one negative review in the last 12 months or 6 months, one didn't get shipped to me. Okay. Does that mean you're not going to get your ship? Maybe got lost in the mail. You know, we got the thing outside the box. We can't go on every single bad review that somebody gets. Now, if you start seeing fake, 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 and so on, or didn't ship, didn't ship, didn't ship, didn't ship, took my money, didn't ship, seller sold item, didn't ship, those are the type of sellers you need to stay away from. But if overall they got I even bought stuff off of 90% reviews, my friend, because they had like 12 feedbacks. Newest seller, one bad review. The bad review was they sold something that was breakable and it got broken in shipping. Now, was that the seller's fault? Probably not. Did the seller give the money back? I don't know. All right, I don't know that answer, but the item that I got was coins, which from some Franklin Halves a couple years ago. They came in fine. So just because they got one bad review, they got 90% feedback, does not mean they're a bad seller. You got to look at the whole picture. And people blame eBay for everything. Look, eBay's not selling this stuff. You're just using their platform to get it from other sellers. Hey, look, I don't have stocks on eBay. It's just another tool that I use that I know very, very well. And I know the policy inside and out. That is why I trust them as well with purchasing precious metals online. I trust channel sponsor Pinbacks as well. You guys know that. You know, I'm not sure they have a deal this week yet. I gotta get in contact with them. But the last time I knew they had the piece dollars on sale. I'm not sure they pulled that back down or not. I'll let you guys know this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget about the thumbs up. Don't forget about the Pinbacks giveaway. I'll post that link in the comment section below. Make sure, all I ask is watch that video in full. It's 10 minutes long. Make sure you write the comment and write for the giveaway. As for now, Coin Shop Chris is out. We will see you later this afternoon.